Today is May 31st. It is the last day of the digital declutter. I started it on May 1st, but I'm not ready to let it stop. So I'm gonna fill you in, give you all the details. Let's do this. First of all, let's start with what I'm not. I am by no means anti-tech. I love the shininess. Oh yes, look, it's wifey. I love the shininess of the smartphone, smart technology, smart home devices, computers. I love watching tech stuff. Man, it's awesome. So why, as a self-styled tech enthusiast, would I be interested in reducing, cutting down on what I'm doing on this, as well as other pieces of technology? I'm spending 8 hours a day on my computer for work. I get off work and I'm logging consistently between 2 to 4 hours a day on the smartphone. A lot of that is YouTube. And then add to that any time that I spend on the Xbox or any time that I spend streaming from Netflix on the TV, as well as anything that I do on my tablet, and the hours start racking up. I was asking myself questions like, is this the best way to go? Should I be looking to do something different, something better? Should I be restricting my use of the technology and directing my attention in a more productive, more positive, healthier way? I found Cal Newport's book, Digital Minimalism. Now, first of all, one of the things that drew me to Cal Newport is that he is not anti-tech. He is a professor of computer science. He had two things that he talked about. One is that your time equals their money. So the more time you spend scrolling social media on here or clicking on website links on here, that's more money for the people that own those websites or own the social media platforms. And so they've tried to engineer those things to keep you looking as long as possible. The other thing you talked about was only allowing technology into your life that served a deeply held value in being comfortable with missing out on everything else. I got the audiobook from the library and I listened to it, and then I took notes and I launched into doing the 30-day challenge. I did not do it alone. I was joined by my sister, which was awesome. So what is the challenge? It is beginning. The digital detox starts tomorrow. So first things first, I got to unlock my phone and I'm going to remove all of the non-essential apps. And I'm going to be taking off this. Let's start with this. Can't believe I am taking that off. Basically, you remove or limit the use of non-essential technology for 30 days. After you've had that 30-day period, you start to reflect and bring back in technology that is actually going to benefit your life, that serves a deeply held value. The reason that it's 30 days and not just like a 1 week or a 2 week challenge is that he argues that you need at least 2 weeks to separate yourself long enough from a device that can be addicting to allow you to think clearly about what actually matters and what is superfluous. After the challenge is done, you can reintroduce non-essential technologies into your life if they pass a 3-step test. Rule 1, no social media on my phone for 30 days. Rule 2, I could only have YouTube on the PC and I had to limit it to an hour a week. Rule 3, I took Facebook Messenger off my phone. Rule 4, no Google app or Google Chrome app on my phone. And I limited it to 15 minutes max. So I had a couple of expectations going into this. First of all, I really thought that I was going to miss YouTube. I had watched quite a bit of YouTube every day, and I thought that limiting it to an hour a week would drive me nuts. I also thought that limiting when I could search Google to find out things that were curious to me or to do research would also be frustrating. I did have a bit of a stir-crazy moment on my first day of the challenge. It's the end of day 1, and I'm cleaning the windows and talking to myself. Enough said. But I began to settle in. It was not nearly as bad as I expected, and I found that I did not use Google, Facebook, YouTube, or the Xbox nearly as much as the time allotted. To give myself like 15 minutes to check Facebook a week, and I was barely on it like a minute, and then I'd be like, I'm done here. I also did not miss spending time on YouTube as much as I thought. I only used my allotted hour like once. And it was kind of interesting because I would write down ahead of time the things that I wanted to go in and watch videos of and like research. What did I do instead? I went for walks, I read books or listened to audiobooks that I would get from the library. I took up playing guitar again, and that was a lot of fun. I longboarded more. I wrote both on the computer and handwritten. I should have taken screenshots of my average phone use before I started the digital declutter, because the average screen unlocks fell from over 100 a day to in the mid-30s a day, and my average screen time fell from 2 to 3 hours, like I said before, to about 35 minutes a day. Some days I've ended with as little as 11 minutes of phone screen time, and I never thought that I would ever get that low. So I'm not rushing to add the tech back in to my life that I eliminated, and it's gonna be a slow, methodical process where I've been writing out the past week a page for each optional technology, answering the 3 questions he laid out in the book. Step 1 is that the technology must serve something that you deeply value. Offering some benefit is not enough. Step 2, the technology must be the best way or the best use of technology to serve that value. If it's not, replace it with something better. And step 3, if the first and second criterions are met, you must have in place operating procedures that determine how and when that specific technology will be used. So those are the questions that I've been attempting to answer this past week. Post-challenge, I'm not going to have YouTube on my phone. I'm also not going to have the Google or Google Chrome apps on my phone. The first thing that really caught me off guard is about 3 weeks in, I realized that I did not include Instagram in any of the rules of the challenge. Like, I did not give myself a window of like 5 minutes to check Instagram. I totally forgot about it, which basically tells me I don't need Instagram. Another one that's surprising is I really liked the Google app, but it did not make the cut. It did not pass the 3-step test. Fitbit and fitness apps also, in my opinion, I have a hard time having them pass the 3-step test. The final one that I was surprised about is podcasts. I would listen to a ton of podcasts and I would use them as a huge time filler. Not having podcasts for the last 30 days has been really good, I think, for me in terms of I've been being able to get away and, go internal and think. I started talking to myself more, which is just, internal processing. So that's actually a good thing. And I'm not in a hurry to bring podcasts back into like a daily part of my life. I think I'm going to bring podcasts back to some degree because I think there's a lot of long-form interviews that have a lot of valuable information. First of all, I really enjoyed doing this digital declutter challenge. I think I really benefited. The break from a lot of the technology has just been a nice refresh. I'm not in a hurry to go rushing back to using technology the way I was before, and indeed that is the point of the challenge. The point of the declutter is to help you separate from using addictive digital technology to allow you to analyze what's necessary, what's not, what's beneficial, what's not, implement proper operating procedures that limit how, when, and why you use the technology, and then institute meaningful life change going forward to where the technology is serving you and you're not serving the technology. Your time is not equating to their money. That's it for today, folks. Thank you for watching. Bye.